Hello, hope y'all all doing great. Ali here. I recently had prepared a monologue for my acting class, and it's based on Jack Lemmon's monologue from Shortcuts, which is a great film by Altman. And I wanted to show you the end result and the things that I did to get it to a better place from where it started.
Ola, if I have one more beer, I'm gonna have to take a nap. And she says, I wondered what it would take to get you into bed.
To hell with love. To hell with love. Forget what other people do when it comes to me and you. To hell with love.
Alright, so the sound you hear is basically me pouring some cream. So that's one of the things that will get your mind off of the dialogue, which is to have an action and to actually complete it. In this case, it was to put the cream in the coffee cup and just stir it and drink the coffee. You still resent my not being in the hospital with you that day, don't you? Well, that day I did something that I've never done in my life. I didn't tell your mom the truth. I went out the door as if I'm going to work and I called in sick. I didn't tell your mom that I was going to Ola's house to fix up her ice maker. Of course, she would have had a fit. Oh, she would have had a fit. It was okay for her to help Ola, but not for me, even though Ola was paying me for it. I think these lines are not mine. I think I'm kind of copying the intonation from Jack Lemmon's. So yeah, that's something to improve.
It was okay for her to help Ola. Oh, not for me. See, she was very possessive that way.
It was Ola's idea for me not to tell your mom. You know how sisters are so possessive. So I go to Ola's house and I told her I'm early, and I was early, and there's no answer. I go in and she's upstairs in the shower, and I holler so that she wouldn't be scared when she comes down. So I go to the basement and I start working on the ice maker. And after a while she comes in and she says, how are you? I'm saying, I'm fine. And she comes in a robe. So here I say the robe. I should have said that she came down in a robe before this sentence, so I'm trying to correct it. But she tells me that she cleaned up for me, and I'm like, what? I mean, Ola is a bit odd, isn't she? I mean, anyhow, after a while, she's like, do you want a beer? And I'm like, don't you think it's a little bit too early for a beer today in the morning? And she's like, I'm not your employer, am I? Do you want a beer or not? And I'm like, okay, what the hell? I'll get a beer. At the time, it didn't seem like such a bad idea. And I start and finish the first beer. Before I know it, the next beer is in my hand, and then boof, boof, until the fourth or fifth beer. And I'm standing there barely, and I'm telling her, and I don't forget what I told her, and I tell her exactly that, Ola, if I have one more beer, I'm gonna have to take a nap. She says, I wondered what it would take to get you into bed. I'm laughing. I mean, this is your mom's sister, for God's sake. And she's like, don't pretend like it never crossed your mind. And I'm like, crossed my mind? I'll tell you, I mean, I found her company attractive, but I never thought about her that way. I mean, she was your mom's sister after all. Why? I would never. I didn't want to hurt her feelings also. I mean, this was your mom's sister after all. So I'm on my fourth or fifth beer now, and I'm just, shaking, and I don't know what the hell to do with this thing, and the thing is just not, getting, the joints are like not fitting into each other. And She opens the goddamn robe. Oh my god, oh my god. I mean, I tell you, this woman was way put together better when she was in the dress than when she was not. Oh god, dude. Oh my god. She was. See, when I work with my hands, it really comes through. My emotions really come through. So I wish that maybe with a wider lens, you would see more of my body gesture, and it would the emotions would just come through, or I would actually emote better that way. So that's one thing. She was hard to resist. I tell you, no man could resist that. So go upstairs. Oh God, neither of us heard your mom come in. She was in such a state. She wouldn't look at Ola. She would look at me, and she said, "Howard's in the hospital." And I'm just running to the car. And in the car, she was crying a little bit, and then she said, "Why didn't you tell me that you were not going to work?" I really need more pauses before these important sentences, like when I'm saying, "Why didn't you tell me XYZ?" Because that would raise the stakes. But I feel like my pauses are too short. Sick. Tell me you were sick. Oh God, I was so ashamed. Oh God. But you know what? We go to the hospital, and most of the news was bad about you. But we stood side by side together, and we got through it. And then Ola comes in. And she lies. She says, "We've been having an affair." And I try to explain it to your mom exactly like what happened. You know, I tell her this happened and that happened. You know what she tells me? She tells me, "I don't want you around anymore. I'm better alone, no matter what happens to Howard." Of course, I had to respect her wishes, Howard. I couldn't be in the room with you, no matter what. You know, and I thought maybe someday the truth will come out. Of course, we both know that it never did. Okay, folks, that's it. The monologue and the critique. I hope that you learned something from it. It was an interesting progress for me. I'm not showing you the first versions. I think this version was much better than the first versions, but there's a lot to be improved. And if you were interested, I'll put the link to the Jack Lemmons monologue, which is a master at acting. And you can see, like, I think he literally does, like, if not dozens, close to 100 different, things with his gestures and with his voice and his facial expressions to convey this monologue. All right, thank you for watching. Adios.